Growing up, my sister, Jessica, and I were inseparable. We were only 2 years apart, so our bond was strong, and we shared everything: secrets, dreams, and even heartbreaks. When she met Ryan, I was naturally protective. He was charming, kind, and had this quiet confidence about him that made people instantly trust him. Still, I kept my distance at first, observing him, making sure he was the right man for my sister. Ryan and Jessica met at a coffee shop where she worked part-time during college. She had spilled a latte on his shirt, and instead of getting upset, he had laughed and told her she had just made his day more interesting. From that moment on, they were inseparable. I watched as my sister fell in love, and over time, I started seeing why she was so drawn to him. He was attentive, always putting her needs first, and most importantly, he made her happy. At first, I couldn't shake the feeling of being the overprotective sibling. I had seen Jessica hurt before, and I never wanted that to happen again. But Ryan proved himself over and over. He was patient, always including me in their outings, making me feel like I wasn't losing my sister, but gaining a brother. Years passed, and their love only grew stronger. When Ryan proposed, it was in the most heartfelt way possible. He took Jessica back to the coffee shop where they met, got down on one knee, and asked her to be his forever. Her eyes lit up with joy, and in that moment, I knew she had found her person. The wedding was a beautiful affair, filled with love, laughter, and memories we would cherish forever. I stood beside her as her maid of honor, and as she walked down the aisle towards the man who had made her so happy, I felt a sense of peace. She had found someone who truly loved her, and that was all I had ever wanted for her. After their marriage, Jessica and Ryan built a life together, and our family only grew closer. They welcomed a baby boy a few years later, and seeing Jessica as a mother filled my heart with pride. Ryan was the perfect father, just as he had been the perfect husband. One day, as we sat on the porch watching their son play, Jessica turned to me and said, "You know, I always knew Ryan was the one." But having your support made it even better. It was then I realized that while I had been so focused on protecting her, she had always known her heart. And I was grateful that she had found someone who not only loved her, but also respected the bond we had as siblings. Ryan wasn't just my sister's husband. He was family, and he had proven that love, when genuine, only brings people closer together. And as I watched Jessica laugh with her son and husband, I knew my sister was happy, and that was all that mattered. As the years continued, their marriage blossomed into something even more beautiful. They faced challenges like any couple, but they always found a way to work through them. I admired how they communicated, how they never let a disagreement linger for too long. Jessica once told me that love wasn't just about the good moments, but about how two people supported each other through the hard times.
I saw that firsthand with them.
Ryan was dedicated to his work as an architect, and Jessica pursued her passion for teaching. They both had busy lives, but they never let their careers take precedence over their love and family. Even with demanding schedules, they always made time for date nights, weekend getaways, and family traditions. Every Sunday, they invited me over for dinner, and we would sit around the table, reminiscing about our childhood and creating new memories. Their son, Ethan, grew up to be a bright and curious child. Jessica and Ryan nurtured his interests, always encouraging him to explore and learn. I loved spending time with him, watching him grow into a kind and thoughtful young boy. He reminded me so much of my sister, full of life and love. One summer, we all took a family trip to a lakeside cabin. It was a week filled with laughter, kayaking, late-night campfires, and heartfelt conversations. One evening, as we sat by the fire, Jessica leaned her head on Ryan's shoulder and sighed happily. "I love our life," she whispered, and Ryan kissed her forehead, agreeing. I watched them, feeling a deep sense of gratitude that my sister had found someone who cherished her so completely. But life wasn't always perfect. There were moments of hardship, times when Ryan's job required long hours and travel, leaving Jessica to manage things at home alone. There were moments when parenting tested their patience. But through it all, they remained a team, always lifting each other up. They showed me that real love isn't about never having problems, but about facing them together. One of the most profound moments in their journey came when Jessica fell ill for a brief period. It wasn't anything life-threatening, but it was enough to test their strength as a couple. Ryan stepped up in ways that left me in awe. He took over every responsibility, ensuring that Jessica had everything she needed. He cared for Ethan, managed the house, and still found time to sit by her side, holding her hand through it all. Seeing his unwavering support only reinforced what I had always known. He was the perfect man for my sister. As time passed, I watched their love deepen in ways I hadn't thought possible. Even after years of marriage, they still looked at each other like they did when they first fell in love. It was in the small gestures, the way Ryan would tuck a strand of hair behind Jessica's ear, the way she would smile at him when she thought no one was looking, the way they always reached for each other's hand when walking side by side. One evening, Jessica and I sat on the porch, sipping tea as the sun set. She turned to me and said, "You know, I used to think love was just about finding someone who makes your heart race. But now I know it's about finding someone who makes your heart feel at home." Her words stayed with me. Watching her and Ryan's journey had changed the way I viewed love. It wasn't about grand gestures or fleeting passion. It was about steady, unwavering support. It was about partnership, respect, and choosing each other every single day. Looking back, I realized how lucky I was to witness such a love story unfold. My sister had found her happiness, and in doing so, she had given me faith in love, too. And for that, I would always be grateful.